inside Ford Field. We are getting ready for the Division V State High School Football Championship game this afternoon, facing the Eagles of Muskegon Oakridge against the Marauders of Ovid Elsie. Hello again, everyone. Along with Herman Moore, I'm Dan Dickerson. This promises to be a fun matchup this afternoon. Two high-powered, high-scoring offenses. Two teams, Herman, that like to run the ball. And we are excited to see exactly how one team will stop the other here this afternoon. Already, three teams from Muskegon County have won in this championship weekend. And Muskegon Oakridge is trying to make it a clean 4-0 sweep. Ovid Elsie Marauders 12-1. Undefeated Muskegon Oakridge Eagles 13-0. And we've got a lot of players to keep an eye on here today for these two explosive offenses. Muskegon Oakridge won the toss, elected to defer. See the coach across the way for Muskegon. That is head coach Jack Sugars. 30 years of coaching, almost 250 wins, only 3 losing seasons in those 30 years of coaching. And across the way for Ovid Elsie, the head coach, Jerry Goosen. 12 years, 7 years at Ovid Elsie. Jerry Goosen has also coached at Coopersville, and a very fine record. Got off to a rough start in his years at Ovid Elsie, but he's built a winner. They're 34-10 the last 4 years. Cameron Hurst will be deep for Ovid Elsie. And Jamie Potts, the quarterback for Muskegon, he is also a fine kicker, will kick it off. Approaches the ball, and we are underway. Cameron Hurst will grab it at his 15, stumbles, and gets across the 20 before he's driven to the turf here at Ford Field. Let's look at the quarterback. He is the coach's son, Jason Goosen. 6'6". Is he done growing? He's a senior, 180 pounds. He's playing for his dad, and that's not always an easy thing, something even his dad admits. And this guy is tough as nails. You see on that left arm, that's not something that he has the plays written on. That is a cast on his left forearm. It was broken with a helmet hit in the second series of the semifinal game last week. He never missed a snap. There's a give up the middle to Nick Madden, one of his big threats in the backfield. The short gain on first down for the Marauders.
Dan, both teams are coming in averaging over 40 points a game. I mean, the defenses are going to have to hold the opponent. They're going to have to hold one another down. The offenses are explosive. It's going to take a lot of work. The defenses are going to be out there going against some tough running backs. And, you know, you talked about one already. It's going to be a pretty exciting game.
Pro-style offense for the Marauders. The give is to the deep man this time. Going off left tackle is Chris Robinson. Luke Cole brings him down, and Herman Moore, that's another guy we're going to keep an eye on today as he gets right up to the first down marker. It is a first down for Ovid Elsie. There's that offensive line. 3 starters returning for the Marauders this year. The man in the middle, David Ball, the senior center, is kind of a key to the middle of that line. He's one of the new starters. Then you look at some of the backs, and Chris Robinson. Herman, what a year. 2,700 yards rushing for Chris Robinson.
Chris Robinson is going to be someone they have to definitely take a look at and contain him.
He gets it right up the middle, keeps the legs driving. Look at the leg drive for Chris Robinson as he gets it across the 40-yard line and brings those Marauder fans to their feet right below us here at Ford Field.
I mean, we're going to see a lot of this today. Keeps it, again, breaks a few tackles. This is why he has over 2,700 yards rushing this season.
He's averaging 11 yards a carry. And Chris Robinson, who's just a junior, ran for 354 yards and 5 touchdowns last week. The give this time going around left end is Cameron Hurst, and he is stacked up shy of the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a slight loss on the play. Kyle Pascavas, the senior corner, came up to make the stop for Muskegon. Let's take a look at the Muskegon defensive line. Tim Wilbur is the real anchor on that defensive line for Muskegon. Ely, Schoenbeck, and Cook are the linebackers. Schoenbeck is their leading tackler. Michael Shoup is also in the defensive backfield. Kyle Pascavas in on that tackle, one of the key men defensively, along with Matt Ecker, maybe the best cover corner. Marauders will throw a little bit more than Muskegon will. Toss sweep right and nothing going there. Chris Robinson dragged down. Quickly in to make the tackle, Matt Ecker. And Herman, you've got to believe all eyes are on Chris Robinson, and I'm sure week after week Ovid Elsie knows it.
Oh, absolutely. They know that he's someone that they're going to have to get the ball to, that's got to run and make some things happen with his feet. But you know what? Oakridge on that one did a great job sniffing it out, staying home, and being disciplined.
Dave Russick, the punter. Michael Shoup is deep for Muskegon. High spiraling punt, a good one. It's going to drop and take a Muskegon bounce. Oh, I thought maybe Michael Shoup had made the wrong decision there to let it bounce, but the ball kicked back upfield and quickly covered by the Marauders. So Muskegon Oakridge takes over for the first time this afternoon. Look at their quarterback, Jamie Potts. He's just a sophomore. More than one role. He's also the kicker on this team. He's a very good kicker. And his pedigree runs in the family. He's got an older brother, 15 years older, who's also a quarterback playing for his dad 15 years ago. And Jamie Potts has grown up in this system that he is running here today. Running right side hard. Luke Cole takes a big hit, but only after a big gain on first down, 6 yards. Running on the right side, Terry Evans is the one who came up and delivered the blow.
Takes the handoff. Great hold. Good job by the offensive line, creating the lanes, getting into the secondary. That's what they're going to have to do a lot of today, because both teams really like to run the football. So we're going to see a lot of rushing attempts, and it's going to be about possessions.
Basic wing T formation. Full house T is what they call it. 3 backs in the backfield. The give is off the right side to Michael Shoup. Dual threats in the backfield for Muskegon Oakridge. Goosen and Terrell in on the stop. You look at that offensive line. They only had one returning starter from last year. That was Cody Moore. And they have filled in very nicely. Tim Wilbur and Brandon Hudson, 2 of the big guys. And then Shoup and Ecker. You look at the backs and receivers. Those 2 both had at least 1,200 yards on the ground this year. So a lot of threats, and this team will run. They will run and run some more. They average over 300 yards a game on the ground and average 42 points a game. A jump into the neutral zone, that's an automatic penalty in high school football. Terry Evans jumped early. Well, you saw on the bullet points.
Snap, encroachment on the defense. That's a first down.
As we looked at Jamie Potts, the unholy socks. As you look at the replay here of the jump, again an automatic penalty in high school football. Jamie Potts, as coach told us, wears the same pair of socks week in and week out. He said, don't you ever want to put on a new pair of socks? Running right side, not getting much, as Luke Cole. He said, no, these are my lucky socks. Wears them game after game. But Herman, you wouldn't know anything about superstitions, would you?
You know what? I've had my own, where I wear a pair of gloves for an entire season, no matter what. Even if they get wet, even if they get, dirt, mud, it doesn't matter. And sometimes when you're superstitious a little bit, you won't change. I've even worn the same pair of shoes for an entire season.
Taped them up, you said.
Now, I don't know about the socks with the holes though, but
second down, we'll call it 6. Just shy of the 50-yard line. To give is up the middle. Michael Shoup, who is also listed as the backup quarterback, gets a few, setting up 3rd and short. Shoup is also the leading receiver, but again, a team that only threw 64 times to the first 12 games of the season. So, Herman, if you're the defense, coming in, they're going to run, but there's a lot of deception in this wing T.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't expect them to put it up in the air that often. Both teams definitely are running football teams, and that's an advantage for the defense, because they both are going against the run all the time. So it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Now Potts gives it right side. That'll be a first down. Michael Shoup gets just enough across the 45. 3 yards and a first down as they drive into Marauders territory. Garrett Chepko up to make the stop for Ovid Elsie.
He's taking the handoff. There's some great lanes, and again, if he's got one guy around his ankles, but if he could make someone miss going through the hole, he's going to break into the secondary, and that's where we're going to see a lot of the big plays occur.
First possession of the day for Muskegon Oakridge. Trying to make it one heck of a successful weekend for Muskegon County. Give is right side, and there it is, breaking into the secondary. Michael Shoup down the sidelines. He's going to be necktied and brought to the ground by Cameron Hurst. A big gain, just as you were talking about, 30 yards. yards, right down to the 10-yard line.
Anytime you see a big run occur, it's always set up by the blocks. Gets out to the side, hole is there, the tackle's doing a great job, gets down the field, he has only one man to beat, gives him a stiff arm, and almost breaks it there. I mean, if you look at it, you get a push by the tackle, he makes one man miss. Typically what happens on a longer run. It's a great gain.
Preston Knapp was the senior right tackle who threw the big block that helped free him. Now the give is inside again to Shoop. And he got very little, a couple of yards across the 10-yard line. So Shoop, not one of the two big ball carriers. Ecker and Shoop are the two big ball carriers. Shoop also again listed as the backup quarterback. But he gained 1,300 yards, averaging 7 yards a carry this year. And Matt Eckert gained almost 1,300 yards this year. Full house tee. The give is to Eckert. Banging off tacklers toward the goal line, but he comes up just short. Chris Robinson stopped in just shy of the goal line, but Matt Eckert running hard inside almost scores. It is a first down, and now they'll have 4 cracks from just inches away from the goal line.
You got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They're doing a tremendous job against Ovid Elsie and creating the lanes for the running back. I mean, this has been a predictable style offense, but they've gotten the job done up front.
First and goal. Muskegon Oakridge, handoff to Ecker, left side, touchdown.
That's an impressive drive. You know, both teams knew coming into the game that they were going to be running the football. They made, no hidden facts about that. And they've come out and they've made a statement early. Oakridge did a great job taking the first drive down and coming away with points.
Their coach, Jack Sugar, says it's very fundamental what we do. He said, we do what we do it well, we polish, and we polish. Pops for the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. He's got a good, strong leg. And an impressive drive by Muskegon Oakridge. The Eagles, undefeated, take it right down the field, kept off by Matt Ecker's short touchdown run. The early 7-0 lead for Oakridge. Along with Herman Moore, I'm Dan Dickerson back at Ford Field. Impressive early drive for Muskegon Oakridge. They take it right down to the Division V finals for the early 7-0 lead. Time now for a Taco Bell road to the finals. Very impressive road for Ovid Elsie. They've scored 55 and 56 points in their 4 playoff games. And also for Muskegon Oakridge, they've outscored their opponents 139-62 in their playoff run, winning last week over Jackson Lumen Christi 27-16. That's the closest game they had of their 4 games leading to the finals. Took it right down the field on their first possession. 69-yard drive on 9 plays, took 4.5 off the clock. These teams are capable of big plays. Cameron Hurst is deep. Jamie Potts will kick off. The kick is high and short. Fielded by one of the up men across the 30, spinning and getting it up to about the 35-yard line. And that's where Ovid Elsie will take over. Terry Evans was the up man that time for Ovid Elsie. Ovid Elsie has scored 581 points this season, 45 points a game. They've scored 50 points or more 6 times in their 13 games. And Herman, they don't throw a lot, but when they do, it tends to be big.
It tells you too that they run the football, so it tells you that they're making really big plays in the running game.
The give is on the right side. There's very little there for Nick Madden. He averaged 10 yards a carry. He's also the leading receiver on this team, the top target for Jason Goosen. Jason Goosen, when he completed a pass, his average completion was over 20 yards this year. So, again, they don't throw a lot, less than 10 times a game, but they sure make it count. And again, Nick Madden, who just carried the ball, is his top target. That's Jason Goosen running back onto the field, playing with a broken bone in his left forearm. Broke it early in the game last week. He's a two-way player, and he stayed in the game and played defensively for the rest of the day.
He's tough as nails.
And The doctor said as long as he can handle the pain, he can play. There's Robinson, right side, dances out of the hands of one tackler, gets about 5, and he's inching closer, about 2 yards now for the first down. Tom Schoenbeck in on the tackle.
Good job there, avoiding the first tackler. But you know what? Oakridge is doing a great job of containing, and I think right now their biggest thing is, you know what, don't let Robinson get free for the big gain. So they're going to look to contain him, get a lot of bodies around him today, and wrap up.
3rd down and 2, second possession of the day for Ovid Elsie, down 7 early. Jason Goosen, just the senior quarterback under center, hands it left side. Robinson breaks a tackle across midfield down the left sidelines, and he's brought down on a touchdown saving tackle by the strong safety Luke Cole. Big play for Ovid Elsie, and we're starting to see the explosiveness of Chris Robinson.
It's a great lane there for him to explode through. Turns on the jets, gets down the sideline. You know, short of him breaking that tackle, he's going all the way in.
350 yards last week for Chris Robinson. And Jerry Goosen says if teams really gear up to stop him, and obviously they do. He said, we can throw the ball. We're not afraid to throw it and change the game plan if need be. Robinson is the deep man. That's Madden in front of him. Madden gets the ball running left, breaks out of a tackle, and he's down to the 20-yard line. Big gain on first down. It's another first down. Luke Cole again with a tackle that might have saved a touchdown, but you don't want your strong safety making all the tackles.
Definitely don't want him breaking into the secondary. The teams are aware of that. They know that they're committing guys into the box defensively so that, you know, they're not really going against the pass right now. It's protecting against the run and the big plays.
We have yet to see a pass in this game. Both teams keeping it on the ground. Now here's our first pass. Goosen deep. He's got a man wide open on the left side, making the catch, but falling down is Dan Higbee. He had a touchdown, but he wanted to make sure first that he made the catch.
You know, it was a great job by Dan on the backside. You'll see it. Higbee did a great job by delaying. Roll out by the right on the quarterback, faking back. He's wide open. If he's able to keep his feet, he's going to walk that in for a touchdown.
That's the only thing that prevented Ovid Elsie from tying the game, just not able to keep his feet under him. 1st and goal. Good drive for the Marauders. Robinson running left side of the short side of the field. Good penetration that time. Kyle Pascavis ended up making the tackle. Tom Schoenbeck was in there as well, the leading tackler, the senior linebacker for the Eagles of Muskegon Oakridge. Well, there was all kinds of penetration there. 2nd down and goal. This is where it gets a little bit tough, and you would think they'd sure like to see Robinson go to that wide side of the field, let him take advantage of his speed and elusiveness. The give up the middle to Robinson, spins to the goal line, touchdown! Good hard running right up the gut. And the Marauders an extra point away from tying the game.
It's a good play call here. Just basically getting bodies on bodies and pushing the pile forward. Robinson did a great job following his blockers, bouncing off of a couple of guys for the touchdown.
Make it an even 250 points for Chris Robinson this year with his 41st touchdown. The extra point is up, and it is good by Cameron Hurst. He's been rock solid on extra points this year. Nick Madden slow to get up, and he's going to need some tending too after the extra point. 2 good drives. Muskegon Oakridge and Ovid Elsie follows right behind with an impressive drive of their own, capped off by their big man in the backfield, Chris Robinson. 7-7 tie in the first.
The MHSAA football finals on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
Well, just about what we expected here at Ford Field in the Division 5 finals. Two high-powered teams, two impressive drives. 7-7 counting down to the last minute of the first quarter. Both teams keeping it on the ground. The one pass of the day completed by Ovid Elsie. 66 yards in 7 plays. Robinson 5 carries and 37 yards on that drive. Again, a guy who's been averaging 11 yards a carry, so we might even expect to see bigger things from Chris Robinson. Of course, this is a pretty good defense he's facing today. Muskegon Oakridge only giving up 14 points a year. Michael Shoup is one of the deep men along with Jacob Ferguson. Little short kick. They're going to try to drop that inside the 20. They do, and it goes out of bounds. So good starting field position for Muskegon Oakridge. Looked like they were trying to keep it away maybe from Michael Shoup, and instead kicked it out of bounds. So Muskegon Oakridge not stopped on their first drive. Very impressive, very efficient. Again, nothing too fancy with this full house T offense. 3 backs in the backfield on most plays, and it's all in the misdirection, isn't it, Herman? In terms of if you're a defensive linebacker, defensive lineman, you've got to find out where that ball is going, which back is getting it.
Yeah, that's where the confusion is occurring. If they don't pick that up quick, then the back with the ball has an extra time to hit the corners or get upside.
3 backs in the backfield. Jamie Potts is the quarterback, just a sophomore. Fine athlete. Gives it off left side to Eckers. Got some room. Bangs up to the 40, but then he's driven back. Chris Robinson is a fine two-way player, and he stuck his head in there and gave him a belt. So not only has he run for 2,700 yards, but he's in on a lot of tackles as well.
Running back looks like he has time to get outside, cuts it back inside. Nothing there. Defense waiting for it.
Jamie Potts will carry the ball to quarterback. That's part of the job of this offense, not only making the decisions on who to hand it off to, but when to keep it. The give is right side to Michael Shoup. And Shoup gains a few to get him close to first down territory. Gain of 4, setting up 3rd and short in a 7-7 tie, counting down the final seconds of the first quarter in the Division 5 championship here at Ford Field. Dan Dickerson and Herman Moore, glad to have you along on this Saturday afternoon. And that is going to wrap up the first quarter here at Ford Field. Very entertaining on both sides. Muskegon Oakridge took the ball right down the field on a 69-yard scoring drive. And then Ovid Elsie right back with a 66-yard drive of their own, capped off with his touchdown run by Chris Robinson. A 7-7 tie after 12 minutes here in the Division 5 championship game. Dan Dickerson and Herman Moore here at Ford Field. First play of the second quarter, 3rd and short. The give is to the up man. Nope, the quarterback is keeping it, Jamie Potts, and it's going to be very, very close. I think Cody Nixon's tackle brought him down short of the first down. It is 4th down and inches from just shy of the 45-yard line. So what does Jack Sugars, the head coach, do? Looks like he's going to go for it on his own side of the field. A lot of confidence in that offensive line.
They've done a great job so far pushing the pile. So I think he's looking at this and, thinking this is definitely something they can get accomplished.
Every time they've needed a yard, they've been able to get it. The give is right side to Luke Cole, and he gets the first down across the 45-yard line. A gain of 5 on 4th and less than 1. Cole has also played most of the year with a broken hand. Gained 400 yards in the regular season plus the playoffs. So he's kind of the 3rd guy in that backfield, but he's already had some big carries early in this game. Jamie Potts, the sophomore quarterback, under center in a 7-7 game. Back to throw, little toss left side. It's caught by Cole down the sidelines. He's got room. A little stutter step, and he gets a few extra yards down to the 21-yard line. Chris Robinson finally knocked him out of bounds. 30-yard gain for the Eagles.
Cole did a great job running away from the defender, turns it upfield, gets upfield right away, gives a little stutter, a little hesitation.
Nick Madden was the linebacker assigned to him, and he got by him, and once he did, he had a lot of yardage down that sideline. First down, 21-yard line. The give is to Shoot, running up the middle, and he gets about 5 on first down.
Now, we've seen twice so far, Dan, that when Oakridge has decided to throw the football, they're very efficient in what they do, and they don't throw a lot, and there's not a lot of emphasis on the passing game, but they've definitely taken advantage of the opportunities that they've been given.
Potts only averaged 5 attempts a game. Austin Stordahl was his favorite target, one of the tight ends. The give to Cole, right side, cuts it back up the middle, keeps the legs going, and he's very close to a first down before Garrett Chapko, the junior tackle, brings him down. Third down, and we'll call it a yard from the 12-yard line. Has to get to the 11. Right now, both teams operating their offenses very efficiently. Neither defense has been able to stop outside of one drive in this game. 3rd and 1. The keeper, Potts, up the middle, and he's got the first down. He's got it down to the 5-yard line. Gain of 7 on 3rd and 1. Potts averaged 10 yards a carry this year.
I mean, the full house T seems to be giving Ovid Elsie a lot of problems because they don't know who has the football. That's the toughest part about it. Trying to read which of those 3 backs is going to have the football is making it tough for the defense right now.
Credit to Tom Schoenbeck for throwing the block that freed Potts that time. That was a good decision by Potts, wasn't it? Hang on to the ball, a little step back, and then ran it right up the gut. Timeout call. Chris Robinson with an equipment problem, it looks like, with his helmet. He's just going to exchange the helmet. And he quickly needs to remember to grab that mouth guard as well before he goes back on the field.
And, you know, Coach Sugars, he talked about the fact that he put a lot of emphasis on great blocking and ball security. And on that last play, see the quarterback really wrap it up, making sure that, you know, they're in scoring territory, not to turn the ball over at this situation.
Offense that ran for more than 4,100 yards this year and had 4 fumbles. So a fumble every 1,000 yards. Potts hands off to Cole, right side, bangs inside for a couple of yards on 1st and goal. Boy, they've been running right up the middle on most of these plays.
I mean, if you look, you don't know which running back's going to take the ball. I mean, you got 3 running backs here. He steps back. Defense has a delayed reaction. If you see that, they don't know where to really pursue the football.
Now Potts gives it left side at the goal line. Eckers stretches, but he's driven back. Thought he got in, but just inches shy. For the 2nd time in this game, Chris Robinson stops and scoreless 3rd quarter. We head to the final 12 minutes of play in the Division 5 championship game at Ford Field. Ovid Elsie hanging on to that 1-point lead they took into halftime. Now Jamie Potts, who's been very successful carrying the ball here in the 2nd half, this time is stopped after a short game by Dave Russick, the senior defensive end who's come up big in the playoffs. Muskegon Oakridge with 90 yards of total offense in the 3rd quarter and 6 first downs, but both teams punted twice. Ovid Elsie very quiet, just 1 first down and 55 yards of total offense, and 51 of that was on Chris Robinson's carry. So So the time of possession in the quarter goes to Muskegon Oakridge. We'll see if that makes a difference going into the fourth. Have they started to wear down the Ovid Elsie defense? Carrying right side, Luke Cole gets to the corner down the sidelines, and he's knocked out of bounds. Matt Ecker threw a big block to free him before Cameron Hurst finally knocked him out of bounds after a 17-yard gain.
Excellent job right here. Look at the kick out, and then he's hitting the corner, then turns on the speed. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of plays going to the outside, but the hole's there. He bounces it outside.
At the 16.
Keeping the drive going.
Rending Cook throwing a big block to free him as well. Running left side now. That's Ecker, and he's taking it into the end zone for a touchdown. Matt Ecker gives Muskegon Oakridge the lead.
I look for him here to go for 2.
Yep, one doesn't do you any good right here. Well, it does, but might as well go for 2. Take a 6-point lead or a 7-point lead. Obviously, 2 is the right decision here. You see Jack Sugars telling his team he wants to go for 2. Second touchdown of the day for Matt Ecker, the senior running back. Potts under center. Quick toss, right side, shoot, being pushed out wide, tries to break a tackle, but he's not going to get into the end zone. Good pursuit by the Marauders.
Ecker did a great job. But watch the slash and dash right here. Makes another cut right into the end zone.
Well, that was a good hold, good vision from Matt Ecker. You understand why he ran for more than 1,230 yards this year. He scored for the second time today. 2 quick cuts from Eckert, and his team has the lead in the fourth. Muskegon Oakridge with their first lead of the second half, 19-14, 11 to go in the Division V championship game. Well, Muskegon Oakridge's fan base might have quadrupled overnight because of the outcome of some of this weekend's other games. Justin Rose has more.
First, it was Muskegon Catholic Central with the win, followed up in Division II by Muskegon High School. Then in Division VI, Montague took home the hardware. Now that is 3 of the 4 teams from Muskegon County already with the wins. Jack Sugars and his Eagles from Muskegon Oakridge look to make it a perfect 4 for 4, making Muskegon County the first county in state history to have 4 schools win in the same year. Some pretty impressive stuff. Back to you guys.
Sure is, Justin. And the west side of the state really has become the power in high school football in the state of Michigan. So far, all of the champions that have been crowned this weekend, all 6, have been from the west side, including Traverse City, from the northwest side of the state of Michigan. Long kickoff, good foot. Cameron Hurst is deep. Brings it across the 20-yard line, and he's tripped up right there. Good tackle. Gus Wall came in to knock him down.
Tripped up by 34, Gus Wall.
We look at the 4 teams from Muskegon County. Muskegon High School, very impressive yesterday. Montague also with an impressive win, and Catholic Central a lopsided win. They've all had relatively easy wins. This has been the closest game of the weekend so far. All the games have been decided by 11 points or more. Ovid Elsie wants to have something to say about that. Down by 5.
Last couple possessions we've seen where Robinson has had 2 long runs. They're going to need some big plays out of him to get back into this in a hurry.
Man in motion left. They give will be to Robinson running on the left side. Oh, he's swarmed by the Eagles defense. Breaks out of a tackle, but then is hauled down. It's amazing he even got a second shot. Luke Cole ended up bringing him down. There were about 5 guys all over him, and somehow he kept the legs going and actually got 2 yards.
When they hit him at the initial point, they're hitting him high. He's staying up. His feet are continuing to move. He almost breaks out of this. Saving tackle there because there's no one out on the left side after this. If the defender misses here on this last part, he may break that for a long run.
He's had a 51-yard run, a 42-yard run called back here in the second half. Robinson gets it again. Left side, carrying tacklers with him. Gets about 5. Brandon Hudson, the senior defensive tackle, brings him down. Muskegon Oakridge has the 5-point lead. The Marauders of Ovid Elsie going for their first ever state championship.
Robinson's slow getting up. He's limping. I don't know if that's going to be a factor.
Hopefully just doing the Jim Brown thing where it looks like he just barely makes it back to the huddle. Then you give him the ball, and the next thing you know, he's by you. He does look tired, though, doesn't he? That's the body language. We'll see if he gets the ball on 3rd and 3. He does. Left side, pushing. He's going to come up shy. Brendan Cook, the outside linebacker, came in to shut him down after a gain of 2. And Ovid Elsie will have to punt the ball away.
I can't tell which leg he's favoring, but he's definitely limping.
Less than a yard.
4th and less than a yard. Is Jerry Goosen thinking about going for it? He sends his quarterback, his son, Jason, back out. And it looks like they are. From their own 36-yard line. 1 4th down conversion.
I think they try and draw the defense off here.
I think they're going for it. Whistle before the snap, and I'll bet it's a delay.
Prior to the snap, delay game on the offense. It remains 4th down.
You're right. Do you think they were trying to draw, or do you think they wanted to run the play?
I don't know which one they were trying. I mean,
they did snap.
There's a lot of time left on the clock. You know, not to question the coach or anything like that, but that's that's a tough one. Oakridge has done a great job moving the football, and to give it back to them in a situation like that could, spore trouble.
Russick back to punt. Michael Shoup is deep. He's a dangerous punt returner. He has not had a return today, and they try to keep it away from him. And he's going to let this one bounce. And another favorable roll. Ovid Elsie's gotten quite a few of those today, and the ball rolls actually inside the 25-yard line. The broadcast of this game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Fox Sports Detroit. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the images, descriptions, or accounts of this game may take place without express written consent. A Muskegon Oakridge offense that knows how to run clock. They can run the ball. That is their specialty. And their specialty, protecting leads. They've got a 5-point lead with 8.5 to go. Running left side is Matt Eckert, and he's got a big gain on 1st down, 9 yards out to the 29-yard line.
Ovid Elsie has to really hammer down here and try and stop on 1st down. They've done a great job of getting upfield, keeping it 2nd and short, 3rd and short, and they're having a high conversion rate and keeping the ball moving. I mean, they have learned to burn the clock, and we've seen that all game.
Luke Cole with a strong block to help free Eckert for the big gain on 1st down. Shoup gets it right up the gut, and he's got a big gain. Tripped up by Jason Goosen with that bad left arm, and you can see him holding the arm as he gets up after the tackle. 1st down for Muskegon Oakridge. This is what we saw in the 1st half. You see that soft cast on the left arm of Jason Goosen. Broken bone near the wrist. He was hit by a helmet on the 2nd series in the semifinal win last week. Didn't seem to slow him at all. He had a big day, and so did his team, scoring 55 points. 1st down at the 42. Left side, running room for Eckert again. And now they're starting to chew up the yardage. Ryan Terrell brings him down, perhaps starting to wear down the Ovid Elsie defense.
They're wrapping up the football because You know, this you don't want. You'll see him put both hands on the football, covering that thing up, making sure he protects that football.
All head coaches emphasize it, but they really put a super emphasis and drill on ball security. 4 fumbles all season long. It's something they work on, practice from the scout team to the first team. Give up the middle. Big gain. Michael Shoup, another first down. They continue to move the sticks. Nick Madden brought him down. But now, if you're the head coach of Ovid Elsie, Jerry Goosen, you've got to be getting a little bit concerned with the way the Eagles are moving the ball. Well, that's the balance you look for. That's the balance they've seen all year. They'll probably both go over 100 for the day. Shoup with 127 to lead the Eagles' attack on the ground. Eckert spins out of one tackle, takes it back inside, gets something out of nothing before Terry Evans brings him down after a gain of 2. The clock is ticking away. It is not a friend right now of Ovid Elsie. They're down by 5 in the Division 5 championship game. 4th quarter at Ford Field.
Oakridge they've had the balance between Shoup and Eckert all year and running the football, both over 1,000 yards.
Potts under center. Gives it right side to Cole. Cuts it back inside. Not much there, but he gets a few. And that will set up 3rd and 5 after a gain of 3. Cole, Eckert, and Shoup are the 3 backs in the backfield on most downs for Muskegon Oakridge. No county in state history has ever produced 4 state champions in 1 year, and Muskegon County just might do it in 2008. And everybody on their feet here at Ford Field. Marauder fans urging their defense to stop right here. Give up the middle. Shoup's got a big hole. He's dragging a tackler inside the 20. Cameron Hurst finally hauls him down, but a big gain of 21 on 3rd and short and a first down for the Eagles.
Right up the middle. They've been running that play all day right here. It happens so fast because they're all going down here. The linemen are creating the lanes.
First down at the 19.
And once he gets in there, I mean, he's in the secondary in a hurry, saving tackle.
Dragged Cameron Hurst for 7 yards. Brendan Cook on that offensive line threw a big block to free him. Now Shoup is knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. He's shown a nice ability, Herman, to step out of tackles and make people miss. Great combination for Shoup.
Because he keeps his feet moving. You see he's running with higher knees than you see with some running backs.
Muskegon Oakridge right on their season average for rushing yards in a game. They average 316. Ovid Elsie also averages over 300. They've been pretty quiet. 2nd and 10. Potts will hand it off to Eckert, running left side. He breaks a tackle and is brought down just outside the 10 by Chris Robinson. Boy, the ability to break tackles at the line or make people miss for both Eckert and Shoup has been big today. Sets up another 3rd and short.
He's being patient, coming around the side. Good blocking again up front. And a saving tackle by Robinson.
The hope right here for Ovid Elsie is simply somehow, some way to keep the Eagles out of the end zone if they want to have a chance. Hold them to a field goal attempt. It's 3rd and short. Give up the middle to Shoup, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Michael Shoup and Muskegon Oakridge.
You got to credit the Oakridge offensive line up front. They've done an excellent job all day, just pounding away. And I think they've really worn down Ovid Elsie's defense because they're slower getting up and they're just gaining momentum each play.
Credit to Brandon Hudson, the right guard, for the block on that touchdown run for Michael Shoup. The extra point from Jamie Potts this time is up and good.
I mean, look at the hole that he's got to run through, and he's had that pretty much all day. Now, Ovid Elsie has done a great job stopping him. You know, I think it goes back to the fact that when they have the shorter distances on third down, they've been able to sustain drive and keep it going all game.
Michael Shoup with a big day. The offensive line is really giving a good push. Brendan Cook with a big block on that drive as well. And Muskegon Oakridge is in control with 3 minutes to go.
The MHSAA football finals on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by Officials for Kids. High school game officials improving the quality of care for kids at Children's Miracle Network hospitals across the state.
Two fourth-quarter touchdowns for Muskegon Oakridge. And Ovid Elsie's 1-point halftime lead is now a 12-point deficit with 3 minutes to go. And Herman, I think you're exactly right. It's just been a case of Muskegon Oakridge wearing down the Marauders.
They've done that, and from the opening drive, we saw that they were having a lot of push up front. They've maintained that momentum and seem to have gotten stronger all the way through this fourth quarter.
Potts with a kickoff right to the goal line. Across the 15 to the 20 and out to the 27 is Cameron Hurst before he's brought down. Well, there's an important reminder. The Division III final is coming up at 7:30 between East Grand Rapids and Inkster, and that will be carried live on Fox Sports Plus. We've listed a few of the Fox Sports Plus channel numbers here. For a complete list of participating systems for this game, visit foxsports.com/Detroit and click on the Fox Sports Plus logo. Also, the Division III game will re-air late night at 12:30 a.m. here on Fox Sports Detroit. Well, of the two teams, the Ovid Elsie Marauders are the better throwing team, but still probably not a team that's built to come from behind in the final minutes. The ball is tipped, bobbled, and eventually not held on to by Dan Higbee. A little slant cut on first down. Goosen does have the ability to throw the ball deep. Again, averaging 21 yards of completion, but not too often this year they probably had to throw in a must-throw situation late in the game.
Right, this isn't a position that they want to be in because they are a running football team, not passing. And when you want chunk yards, I don't know right now, we've seen Robinson hobble along a little bit. I don't know if he has the momentum or the energy right now for those longer breaks.
He's in the backfield blocking. The throw is downfield and it's high over the head of Dave Russick, who had the big touchdown catch on the Hail Mary at the end of the first half. And that sets up 3rd and long. A lot of credit to this young man for what he has done the last 2 weeks. His dad had to back up a freshman, Bob Fraker, warming up last week after the trainer said, "I think your son's arm is broken." He said, "I had a junior by the name of Bob Fraker, kind of a little worried over there on the sidelines, but then my son said, 'No, Dad, I can play.'" And he is playing in great pain these last 2 weeks with a broken bone. Going deep down the right sideline, the ball is tipped out of bounds. Great coverage that time by Michael Shoup. Fine defensive back as well as the offensive show he's put on today, and that negates a potential big game.
He's trying to get him up the sideline and just put one up, hopefully, that like right before the half that they can get a play. It's not a lot there, and also he's working against the sideline.
The season for Ovid Elsie likely comes down to this play, and Jerry Goosen wants to talk it over with his offense before he sends them back out for a 4th and 10. The season either stays alive, needing 2 touchdowns, or with 2:50 to go, chances of a comeback pretty much disappear. Returning this year to Fox Sports Detroit, MHSAA Magazine. It's a seasonal recap of state finals competition, highlighting the team and individual champions in all sports. The fall edition of MHSAA Magazine premieres on Saturday, December the 20th at noon, here on Fox Sports Detroit. Here you see Jerry Goosen, 7th year at Ovid Elsie, coaching his son, Jason. Jerry Goosen has 5 grandkids. Jason was a latecomer. He also coached his other son in the early 90s. So he's got grandkids, and he's got Jason Goosen, the senior in high school. And his son has done a very fine job in leading Ovid Elsie to the state championship game. But now on 4th and 10, their hopes of a comeback rest on this play. They need a first down deep in their own territory. Goosen, slant cut, throws it out of the hands of Nick Madden. He threw it behind him. And Ovid Elsie will turn the ball over on downs to Muskegon Oakridge, down 12 with less than 3 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
They were looking for the hook and lateral there, sending Robinson out of the backfield, looking to flip it out, but the pass was a little bit behind, as you mentioned, resulting in a change possession.
So now Muskegon Oakridge will just try to run clock. Ovid Elsie can stop the clock 2 times. But they're down 12 and they need a minor miracle here. They need a turnover more than anything. And if there's one thing Muskegon Oakridge does, it's take care of the ball.
All season they've done an excellent job taking care of the football.
Potts gives it off to Shoup, who's already got a couple of touchdowns, keeps the legs churning inside the 20. Another big gain on first down. Nick Madden brings him down, but 13 yards for Michael Shoup, who's had a big day for Muskegon Oakridge.
Line again pushing downfield. Look how many linemen are downfield getting blocks. 10, 15 yards downfield.
Preston Knapp pushing players downfield. Tom Schoenbeck 10 yards downfield. First down, Muskegon Oakridge just pounding the ball, and right now Ovid Elsie can't stop him. Potts to Shoup again. Lineman pushing ahead, and what looked like nothing ends up being a 4-yard gain on first down for Shoup. He's been getting the bulk of the carries in this 4th quarter, and boy, is he responding.
Coming into the game, these were 2 defenses that kept their opponents under 20 points while the offenses were scoring over 40. It's been a grind-out game, and it's come down to big plays and sustaining drives. Oakridge has done a great job of doing that all game.
177 yards for Michael Shoup on 21 carries. Left side, Shoup again. Gets down close to a first down before Cody Staley brings him down. Down to the last minute of the Division V championship game.
3rd and 2. Timeout. Ovid Elsie.
And on 3rd and short, Ovid Elsie is going to call a timeout. Maybe more than anything, just to get a breather for this defense. And look at these Ovid Elsie fans in their yellow t-shirts standing and applauding the defense as it comes over. They want this team to know just how much they have appreciated this season and the job that their boys have done in getting to the state championship game. I'd like to remind you one more time, the Division III final is coming up at 7:30 at East Grand Rapids and Inkster. That's going to be carried live on Fox Sports Plus, and right here we're listing a few of the Fox Sports Plus channel numbers. For a complete list of participating systems for the game, visit foxsports.com/Detroit and click on the Fox Sports Plus logo. And that Division III game, we want to remind you, will re-air late tonight at 12:30 a.m. here on Fox Sports Detroit. Good matchup. East Grand Rapids, a perennial power, taking on Inkster in the championship game, the last championship game of the weekend. Muskegon Oakridge. Championship in 2005, their 5th state title game under Jack Sugars. Trying to win it for the 2nd time in 4 years, and they've got a 12-point lead heading into the final minute of play. Nothing as they give it to Shoup. right up the gut, and that will bring up 4th down. Dave Russick, the defensive end, makes the stop, and Ovid Elsie uses their final timeout to stop the clock. 4th down. And you would think the Eagles, one last shot to try to get a 1st down and run the clock. You look at that rushing total, and that really is the story, because after an impressive 3rd quarter for the Ovid Elsie defense, it's been an all-running game in the 4th quarter for the Eagles. 353 total yards, and that 1-2 punch of Ecker and Shoup has combined for 281. And even though Robinson Herman has gained 117, it's really 51 yards on one big play and another 29 on another. He's kind of been quiet today.
Oakridge has done a great job defensively and shutting them down, not allowing for the big plays that often. And they shut them down early. I think they didn't allow them to get into rhythm, didn't allow the momentum to get going. And, you know, Ovid Elsie came out, they tried to mix it up a little bit and try and, you know, not rely so heavily on the run. I thought they had some success, you know, passing the ball. There were some lanes, but ultimately they never could get the running game, which is their bread and butter, going. Oakridge came out, they stuck with it, and it paid dividends for them.
Just 1 1st down for Ovid Elsie in the 2nd half. Potts under center on 4th and 3. Gives it left side. Ecker battling down to the 5, and Eckert's going to get the 1st down, and that will do it. Oh, that's one happy coach right there. Jack Sugars hugging his assistants. He's going to pick up another state championship, his 2nd in 4 years. 30 years the head coach and only 3 losing seasons. And with a win here today, 45-4 in the last 4 seasons. One final snap for Jamie Potts and Muskegon Oakridge. And that will do it. Fans on both sides rise to their feet. But Muskegon Oakridge wins the state championship in Division 5. Herman at halftime, Ovid Elsie, the stunning Hail Mary pass that gave them the lead. You said that you didn't think it would bother Muskegon Oakridge too much, and even kind of a slow 3rd quarter, looked like the momentum might be shifting. They didn't let it bother them, and they just took it home in the 4th quarter.
Absolutely. They didn't allow it to disrupt what they came to do, and that was run the football. They made no indication that they were going to change their game plan. They stayed with it. And to their, you know, this is something they should be proud of. This is a team that considered themselves family, came out, took care of business. You know, both teams I thought played well, but Oakridge ultimately got it done in the end.
A perfect 14-0 season. Congratulations to head coach Jack Sugars on a 2nd championship in 4 years, and congratulations as well to the Marauders of Ovid Elsie on a fine season. Well, our next game is the Division III title game featuring East Grand Rapids and Inkster. Coverage begins at 7:30 on Fox Sports Plus. Go to foxsports.com/Detroit for the channel number in your area. Now for Herman Moore, this is Dan Dickerson saying so long from Ford Field with the final score in the Division 5 title game. Muskegon Oakridge 26, Ovid Elsie 14. You've been watching high school football on Fox Sports Detroit. Coming up next, we'll send you to Boston, where Ken Daniels and Larry Murphy are standing by for Red Wings hockey.